Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Isolated flash urban and small stream flooding remains a possibility, especially within the southern New England area. Further south, strong to severe storms are possible from Arklatex through the lower Mississippi Valley Thursday and Friday. Closer to home, we're going to see that high mass of high-level moisture and clouds move east, with more sunshine back in place across the lowlands. Tomorrow and Saturday, the system's going to pass with slightly better chances for lowland rain and mountain snow. Precipitation amounts are expected to remain low. Tomorrow through the weekend, expect temperatures to be cooler. Next week looks mostly fair with gradual warming to seasonal normals and above average. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. A few days ago, a story began circulating stating that the Supreme Court of the United States Trump verdict would prevent former County Commissioner Couy Griffin from ever holding office once again due to the ruling only encompassing federal officials.
Well, the thing about it is I have a complete separate filing. It's not like my fate doesn't rest in the hands of what the Supreme Court told Trump. My petition's still filed with them, and they should still be giving me a response soon. It did say that about federal officers, but at the same time, President Trump's had dealt with the jurisdictional standing issue.
Griffin speaking with Crazy Radio.
The state Supreme Courts don't have the jurisdictional standing to rule on insurrection. They also put that in there. And here I had a district court judge in Santa Fe in a bench trial rule on insurrection, so.
Griffin went on to cite the 14th Amendment and states his response from the Supreme Court should be soon. Griffin also stated that he'd welcome the opportunity to serve in Trump's cabinet. Kitty City will be at the mall this Saturday along with Animal Control.
Come to the White Sands Mall Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Kitty City and Alamogordo Animal Control will have both cats and dogs available for adoption.
Kathy Denton from Kitty City. The Kitty City, New Mexico Facebook page has details. The website has profiles of available cats. This Saturday, kids of all ages are invited to the Alamogordo Public Library for the Builders Club. Youth Services Librarian Amy Jones told me what's going to be available.
We have Legos that people have donated out on the table. People can come in and build whatever they want. We also have some kits if they prefer to do something with instructions. Then on the floor, we'll have things like Mega Blocks, Lincoln Logs, bigger things that are more suitable for little kids.
That's this Saturday from 1 until 3 at 920 Oregon Avenue. 575-439-4140 for information, and the cost for this event is free. Oliver Lee Memorial State Park invites you to Saturday night star party presented by the Alamogordo Astronomers Group. We spoke with Kate German.
It starts at 7 o'clock. They usually have several telescopes set out. This month, they're focusing on Jupiter, and there's a lot of galaxies that they can see.
For more information, call 575-437-8284. The Alamogordo Recreation Center presents Spring Fling. Children will enjoy various recreational and educational activities during this 5-day camp, which occurs during spring break. Campers will be separated into two groups, elementary and middle school ages. Heather Casebolt told me all about it.
We have kindergarten through 5th grade, and then we also have 6th grade through 8th grade. And those are $100 per kid per week. They each have a field trip planned. They'll do a game club, an art club. They'll go outside, play sports. We play in the gym. So we just try to keep them really active, doing a bunch of different activities.
Now, kids must bring their own lunches, but an afternoon snack will be provided. 575-439-4142 if you want some more info. Keep Alamogordo Beautiful is planning to clean up the Hoosier Ball Field on April 6th. I spoke with Patty Christmas.
We are going to take care of the back side of the ball field, so we will be doing some painting where the dugouts are at, as well as debris and litter pickup behind the park, which is where the park meets the desert. Usually there's a lot of plastic that collects back there. So we're just going to go out there and take care of that.
What do people need to bring?
So we will be providing all materials. The only thing people would need to bring is sunscreen, comfortable clothes to paint or clean in, and a generous spirit.
Again, that's on April 6th from 9 to 2. See keepalamogordobeautiful.org for details. Animal Village NM continues to provide dog and cat food for families in need.
Thanks to our donors, we were able to provide more than 700 pounds of cat and dog food to these food banks.
Sonny Eris speaking with Crazy Radio.
In Alamogordo, contact Love Inc., 1106 Ohio Street, next to Lowe's Market. In Ruidoso, contact Lincoln County Food Bank, 138 Service Road, for times and days of operation.
More information is available by visiting animalvillagenm.com. Well, today is Thursday. We get a inspirational moment now from Pastor Lauren Noble.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday thought. As I sit here and reflect on a childhood friend that passed away just a couple hours ago after a long illness, I could be sad, but we talked on the phone not long back for hours and had a lot of good laughs reminiscing old times and some of the shenanigans we used to pull off during high school, and what a wonderful thing to know that he died sober, and that's a good blessing in and of itself. And I could be sad about his illness, and in a way I am sad that he had it and that he had to battle it. But I'm also happy that he was such a good trooper, I guess you could say, in battling it, and he's finally at peace. But it reminds me also of there's someplace after death. I mean, we don't just go to the grave and that would be it. There is eternity, and it is important to remember where we are going to spend that, because we never know when our last day on earth is going to be. Let me say a prayer for us. Father, help us to reflect upon where we would spend eternity if we checked out of life on earth today, because that is what is important, is where we spend the rest of our days, because we don't just die and go to a grave. There is eternity to think about, and I just pray that we'll take a few moments to reflect on our own life and where we're at spiritually. Amen. To my old friend who can't hear this, rest in peace, Mark B. Until we meet again on the airwaves, blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.com. Local sports, local events, and local happenings, and more. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.com. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
We find the defendant, Hannah Gutierrez, guilty of involuntary manslaughter as charged in count 1. We find the defendant, Hannah Gutierrez, not guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in count 2.
Following deliberations, a jury found Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed guilty of involuntary manslaughter yesterday. The verdict came after several days of testimony from witnesses and investigators on scene of the shooting, which killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins and injured director Joel Souza. Prosecutors sought to pin blame on the movie weapons supervisor for bringing live ammunition onto set and being unprofessional and sloppy, which contributed to the fatal shooting of a cinematographer by Alec Baldwin during the production of the film. Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who was the armorer for that Western movie, pled not guilty to charges of involuntary manslaughter and tampering with evidence in the death of Hutchins on October 21st of 2021 during a rehearsal at the Bonanza Creek Ranch outside of Santa Fe. Gutierrez Reed now faces up to a year and a half in prison.
We're obviously disappointed in the verdict, but we are disappointed in a lot of things that happened in that courtroom. We plan to appeal. We believe we've got a number of issues that we will be asserting.
Defense attorney Jason Bowles standing outside the courthouse. Baldwin, who was pointing the gun at Hutchins when it went off, killing her and wounding Souza, is separately fighting a charge of involuntary manslaughter. 6 years after the FBI uncovered a terrorist plot at a New Mexico compound, the 5 people responsible now know their sentence, with 4 facing life in prison. Yesterday, the New Mexico United States Attorney said that all of the children are all of our children, and that was at the heart of this case.
The horrifying events that played out in graphic detail during this 3-week trial, from radical ideologies to violent extremist beliefs, the banality of everyday life, centered around the corpse of a dead child.
New Mexico U.S. Attorney Alexander Ubales, Siraj Wahaj, Huraj Wahaj, Sabana Wahaj, and Lucas Morton were all sentenced to life in prison for their involvement. Federal agents state that the group provided financial support as well as guns, ammos, and training to prepare for an attack from the FBI. They were based at a well-fortified compound in Amalia in northern New Mexico. The ringleader, Janie Lavelle, took a plea deal and was found to have acute schizophrenia, which led to delusions, hallucinations, and she heard voices, which led her to believe that she was a prophet and caused everything that unfolded. The government had requested 17 years for Lavelle, while the defense argued for 12 years. Ultimately, the judge sentenced Lavelle to 15 years behind bars. Once her term is complete, she will be deported back to Haiti because she was in our country illegally. The trial for a Cuesta teenager accused of murdering one of his friends has ended in a hung jury. Prosecutors say 14-year-old Porfirio Brown was hanging out with some of his friends at his home in August of last year when he shot and killed 13-year-old Amber Archuleta. Prosecutors state that Brown was able to obtain the gun because his father, William Brown, did not have it safely stored, which gave the young boy unsupervised access to it. The gun itself has not yet been located. Porfirio Brown was charged with second-degree murder, among other charges, but a jury was unable to come to a unanimous verdict. Prosecutors are still permitted to bring the case to trial once again if needed. William Brown is also facing charges under Benny's Law related to that shooting, and his trial is scheduled for later this month. David Garcia, the Albuquerque man who exposed himself to high school students, found out that he will not be spending any time in jail. Garcia pled guilty to 2 charges of indecent exposure as part of a plea deal he made back in December. Garcia faced Judge Britt Baca Miller for sentencing yesterday.
I really just want to express truly how sorry I am to the victims in this case. I can't imagine how they must have felt, and I am genuinely sorry for that.
Oh, he's sorry. That makes it all better, doesn't it? Yep, apparently so. According to court documents, 2 teenage girls told police that Garcia exposed himself to them at least twice as they walked home from school. Both girls reported that he was inside of a white sedan. On at least one occasion, he followed one of the victims home, and his sedan was caught on surveillance video. His face was captured in a photo taken by the victim, which assisted police in tracking him down. Prosecutors had requested the judge sentence him to the maximum under that plea deal, 1 year followed by 18 months probation. But Judge Baca Miller decided on no jail time. But Garcia does have to register as a sex offender. He's also going to spend 2.5 years on supervised probation in order to successfully complete sex offender treatment programs and not to have any contact with any kids who are not his own. Sports and weather are next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 9 games for New Mexico softball today, including Ruidoso at Hatch. 23 games for New Mexico baseball today, including Chaparral at Horizon and Hatch at Zuni. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies with winds gusting as high as 33 miles per hour. You can expect afternoon patchy blowing dust. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, winds gusting as high as 24. Sunny and cooler tomorrow with a 30% chance of showers. Your high today in the basin, 63. Low tonight of 36. High tomorrow, 58 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny and windy. Winds are going to be gusting as high as 43 miles per hour today. Tonight, mostly cloudy and windy with a 20% chance for snow. Winds will be gusting as high as 34 miles per hour. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a 60% chance for snow. Winds will be gusting as high as 20. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 41. Low tonight of 23. Wind chill's going to make it feel like it's 10. High tomorrow, 37 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com, and you can learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. Well, that concludes this Thursday edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.